Andrew Schultz's career is in jeopardy right now. He just equally pissed off both sides of his demographic in an attempt to be honest. Up until now, Andrew Schulz has done a beautiful job in managing a fan base that consists of polarizing demographic. Andrew Schulz got a fan base that's filled with people of color who came from hip-hop because they discovered him from Brilliant Idiots with Charlamagne the God. And he also got a fan base of right-wing MAGA bros. Those two demographic, MAGA bros, and urban left-wing hip-hop supporters are almost never in the same space. It's very rare that you will see those two demographic exist in the same space. But that's Andrew Schultz's fan base. But Andrew Schulz have managed to piss off both of them with these two clips from his recent episode of his podcast.
The only party right now that to me seems America first is the Democrat Socialist Party.
Yep.
Bernie is America first. Mamdani and all his ideas that he will not be able to execute, and I frankly think many of them are not good ideas, but he is no doubt New York first. The policies seem to want to help people here. That's what I care about. If MAGA wants to take this America First thing back, they got to start looking out for America. It doesn't seem like they're doing it. Lying to Americans is not America First. There is one lie, which is Epstein did not have a blackmail ring on all these very influential people. And by saying that that didn't happen, you have to tell a lot of other little lies. Every one of them just pulls a little piece of thread away from the fabric. And we're starting to see right through right now, and it's just embarrassing.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fucking idiots, guys. That is, I think, what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something changed because they ran on this idea of exposing it all. All these guys had great ideas. Cockeyed Cash, Dan Bongino.
He had clips, dog. He had bars.
He was ready to tear it all down. He was ready to tear down the entire FBI office.
Shut down the Hoover building day one.
Day one.
That is still standing.
And then he goes on Joe Rogan and he's like, listen, do you think if I had it, I wouldn't share it with you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I do believe that 100%, especially when you're staring at me like this, telling me that. Once you protect pearls, you are the most cockeyed person in the entire world.
So one of two things, in my mind, is it possible. One, you're covering it up. Or two, nothing really happened and you exploited the rape of thousands of children to get your man elected. So which one do you want here?
Before we get back to why people are pissed off at Andrew Schulz, I want to applaud Andrew Schulz because this Epstein issue is a bipartisan issue. This isn't an issue that should be divided down political lines. The American people have been lied to. We're being treated as if we're stupid. The Epstein situation don't make sense at all. And Trump coming out and chastising us for still caring about the Epstein issues and caring about the victims is crazy. And everything Trump has said on this Epstein issue has been contradictory, has been hypocritical.
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
After standing by the FBI and the DOJ report claiming that Epstein took his own life and that there is no client list or Epstein files don't exist, Trump would then follow up on Truth Social And he will go from saying the Epstein files don't exist to the Epstein files or the Epstein list was written up by Democrats and it's fake and nobody should want to see it because, it was created to frame him. So Trump will write, what's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're one team MAGA and don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies. Jeffrey Epstein for years is Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers of the criminal of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia, and we can't say that word because of YouTube guidelines. But yeah, it went from it don't exist to it do exist, but we're not going to show it because it's hogwash. It was written up by Obama and the Democrats. So Andrew Schulz is 100% correct to lose belief in the Trump administration after this. But here is where the backlash is coming in. See, Andrew Schulz has offered up support for Trump, even critiques for Trump in the past. And if you watch Andrew Schultz's various podcasts, then it's no surprise that Andrew Schulz have leaned in favor of Trump heavily. But Andrew Schulz has never really outward said, I voted for Trump. So a lot of us could have speculated, but I don't think I've ever heard it. If he did say it in the past, I've never heard it. And this is the first time that a lot of his fans from, the urban community or the hip hop community, this is the first time they're hearing it. Andrew Schulz will continue in another clip that's going viral, this game Backlash. He will confirm that he voted for Trump. That pissed off the urban community. But then he followed up with another sentiment that pissed off his other half of his demographic, which is the right-wing MAGA bros, when he will state that he voted for Trump, but he's regretting voting for Trump because Trump lied to him, and nothing Trump is doing is what he's voted for.
I believe when Trump, everything he campaigned on, I believe he wanted to do. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing of every single
know what he's done. Yeah, exactly to your point. If you tell me, it's easier for me to believe you wanted to do all these things if any of them were happening in the way that you said they were.
To that point, like there'll be people that they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back. And now he's even flip-flopped on that, which I kind of like. But he's like, oh, well, we kind of need the people working in restaurants and we need our farmers.
If I'm Schulz, I would have probably left out the fact that I voted for Trump. Because what this does now, it puts you in a box. The binary system we're currently in politically is cult-like. Depending on what side of the aisle you fall on, you're probably a part of a cult. If one man can do no wrong in your eyes, you're probably a part of a cult. If that man can tell you, hey, bro, kids in burning buildings is okay, yup, he just knows better, you're probably a part of a cult, okay? If a no man can do right, you're a part of a cult. If this man can say, hey, bro, kids in burning buildings are wrong, we should save them, and you say, no, you're a part of a cult. He can do no right in your eyes. No matter what he says, because your party is against him, you're going to be against him too. So with Andrew Schulz is when, you're making like the dark right-wing humor and jokes that a lot of people will see in passing and just take it for face value. Now they're going to be examining it under a microscope. Now they're going to look at those jokes from the perspective of Andrew Schulz is racist, opposed to Andrew Schulz is a comedian who's edgy. Now, comedians like D.L. Hughley automatically use this opportunity to go at Andrew Schulz's neck. So D.L. Hughley would make a response to Andrew Schulz via Instagram. And he would essentially speak for, I believe, the majority of Andrew Schulz's left-wing urban audience. Because I feel like the people who are on that side of the fence, they essentially feel just like D.L. Hughley. How could you not know? They automatically think that Trump is evil. They look at Trump with like the worst lens possible. So they're under like the perspective of Trump is somebody who we've been warning you guys about. He's evil. He's maniacal. And you knew this before you voted for him. But because you hated minorities, you voted for Trump to feel your own white supremacy. That's what they would say. And D.L. Hughley is representing them. I'll give you guys the other perspective of why I believe, the right-wingers also despise Andrew Schulz, even though they know that Andrew Schulz voted for Trump now.
Every day, without fail, invariably somebody will get on that podcast or that platform and utter these words: I didn't vote for this. The interesting thing is that every single thing Trump is doing, you were warned he would do. Every single thing, every check mark in Project 2025 is being ticked off. You can say you didn't believe it. You can say you didn't think it was real. You can't say you didn't know. You can't say you weren't aware, because you were. And you choose to believe that a dude who would declare bankruptcy multiple times would actually be good for the economy. That a dude who'd been convicted of lying and various other things would actually tell the truth. You thought that he would be different. That what did it say? The best indicator of what somebody will do is what they have done. And everything that Trump is doing right now, you were warned he would do by people who knew he would do it. And now you sit here and you say, well, I didn't vote for this. You did. This is exactly the country you wanted. It is on fire. Don't wring your hands now. Warm them in front of the fire you helped create.
I'm not of the perspective that if you voted for Trump, you voted with ill intent for minorities to feel your white supremacy. I feel like if you're Andrew Schulz, you could have voted for Trump because you thought Trump will serve everybody, because you thought Trump would be the best way forward for all Americans. And if he's looking back right now and he's saying, hey, man, that's not what I'm saying, then he has the right to feel that way. He has the right to say, yo, I made a mistake. Yo, if we're saying that, we can't feel like we made a mistake no more when we vote, that's crazy. Because I feel like, we all probably regretted voting for some candidates, right? I don't feel like everybody who voted for Biden was okay with their decision. Some people thought, man, maybe I did make a mistake. Does that mean that you can't change your mind? You can't say, man, if I would have known what would have happened after I voted, I wouldn't have voted. Bro, you can say that. That's okay. Now, the White House actually responded back to Andrew Schulz, which is feeling a lot of the hate when it comes to the right-wing MAGA bros. Because again, man, when it comes to that particular side of the aisle, it's very tribal. If Trump ain't messing with you, if the White House ain't messing with you, they ain't messing with you. The White House spokesperson gave a statement to the New York Post in response to Andrew Schulz, and they said, Andrew Schulz knows life is far better in President Trump's America than it would have been under a weak and incompetent President Kamala Harris. As a guest on the Flagrant podcast, millions of listeners heard the president lay out his vision for America, and many voted in support of it. That's exactly what President Trump is successfully executing. Name the issue, and the president is solving it. From the border to Biden's deflation to fostering world peace, the results speak for themselves, White House spokesperson Harrison Fields told Fox News Digital. Andrew Schulz will respond back to the White House on Instagram, and he would write, White House, the issues is, are you going to cover up a global pedophile blackmail ring or not? Why did you not include that in your response? We know Kamala would have covered it up. Joe and her had the Epstein files during his term. They chose to cover it up. We thought you guys would expose it because you said you would expose it. I'm sure you can see how Americans would feel deeply angered by the government protecting rapists of, girls. It would appear that now that the White House or President Trump don't really like Andrew Schulz or isn't quite fond of Andrew Schulz, now you can go to Andrew Schulz comments on any given day and you can now see the right-wing MAGA bros going against Andrew Schulz. I'll be real, bruh. Politics is probably not enough for me to stop listening to a podcast that I like or that I listen to. But what I would say, Andrew Schulz has found himself in a rare occasion where both sides of the aisle, they hate you, right? That the stance you took essentially pissed off both sides of the aisles. Now, what I would say is I feel like the Epstein issue is a really, 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 really big issue. And this should be bipartisan. Everyone should agree that these Epstein files should be released. Whether or not Trump thinks is a Democratic hoax, you should still post that list. But I would say there are other issues as well. The Epstein files aren't just the only issues. Like 15 million people is about to lose healthcare like by like September 8th. We should probably focus on that and making sure, that people aren't losing their lives, okay? But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Andrew Schulz is correct on his stance, or is he wrong? Let me know. And if you're still watching, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen to find out why 4Extra just snapped on Adam22 and sent No Jumper a strong message. I'm going to see you guys in this video somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.